Hello everyone, today is Sunday, June 6th, and I'm here with a trade setup video. So I'm going to go through some of the stocks here that I've charted to look at to trade this week, and just know, how these stocks move throughout tomorrow will change a lot of what I talk about today. So really, these are things you can keep on your radar because I am using signals across the weekly and across the daily. But sometimes those moves will happen tomorrow, or sometimes those moves, will happen later this week or not at all. So this is just a list of stocks I'm looking at. I'm still in the realm of reading a bunch of different stocks. I have not narrowed my universe down to, one specific set. I do look at, I guess, one set of stocks, but it's just so large. And I do cycle some in and out. But today we'll talk through a couple of trades, potential, trade setups. So typically you want to look for inside candles, meaning scenario ones when you're looking for trade setups. And this is because scenario ones are universal truths, meaning you know for a fact that neither the buyer nor the seller is in control, thus price is in equilibrium, and thus it's going to either break to the upside, break to the downside, or continue trading on the inside. So what we do in this scenario is we, set alerts to hit, a call if it breaks to the upside, or hit a put if it breaks to the downside. And if it stays trading inside, then your alerts aren't triggered for you to enter anything. So I do like to look for ones on the daily and the weekly as a means of entering. So our first trade here, keep that in mind. Not all of these will be that case, and I'll talk you through why I still have them as a potential trade. But let's take a look at CVS. So CVS ended with an inside week, and as you can see here, I have these orange dotted lines. These are my alerts within TradingView. So I'm going to get an alert right before this breaks to the upside. And I'm also going to put one here. Sometimes I just like, if it's approaching, I just like to be there looking at the candles and like setting up my options contracts, like picking those out. So that's why I sometimes put my alerts like right before as well. But I don't enter until it, breaks in the direction, breaks clearly in one direction. So I also added an alert right across the top of that one. So this is a 2-1, and if this goes up to the upside, that's a 2-1-2, which would be a continuation in this case. It's already been 2 up for a while. If this breaks to the downside, this would be a 2-1-2 reversal. As you can see, and this is the weekly right here. And as you can see on the daily, I've also set alerts. So on the daily, that's why that was right there too. So we're on the weekly. I said, I'd like to look at candles beforehand. Sometimes that's actually just pointing to a different time frame. So it would go 3-1-2 to the upside if it breaks this alert right here at 87.08. And since we also had an inside candle on the daily. And if it breaks this 86.20 to the downside, that would be, call for puts. But as you can see right here, there is some potential upside with how it traded last week, dropping. So in this case, my targets, I can put a couple of targets on here. If I do go for calls, be right here, right here, right here. And the targets can help you with determining your strike price. Like I've said, I am a day trader, so I'm not necessarily looking to take out all of these targets, but they give me indicators of where price might go or might aggregate. And in this case, those can be strike prices. Typically, I do pick a strike price that isn't too far off from what I think the stock can realistically reach within that day. So in this case, it'd probably be around like 88.50 since, this first target here at 88. So that's CVS. Let's take a look at FSR. Okay, so looking at FSR had an inside candle on the daily and has this big 2 up on the weekly. So the reason this is still on my radar, and I just noticed I drew these targets before I synced up these 3 time frames, so you won't see them here. But I will go a little bit like this, and you'll be able to see, you can see the dotted line. So you have a target here, a target here, a target here, and a target here at 18. So what I'm looking, to happen here, and these are all across the weekly in what is known as a, pivot machine gun setup. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark them live actually right here. So we'll mark a target here, 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 and here. So there's just a lot of potential to the upside still. The week closed on the upside. The day closed down, but it closed down on a doji-like inside candle. And I say doji-like because I do think the price opened and closed at a different. See, it opened at 1343. Interesting. Do I need to? This is 1343. Huh, it's not letting me see that. But you can see here, it looks like it opened and closed at the same price because this line is right here. So with that said, I would be looking for this to break to the upside. So I'm going to put an alert right there. And, I also always do an alert in both directions when looking at these inside candle trade, setups, actionable signals. Because you can see there's some targets to the downside here. But I really am looking for this thing to continue to run, knowing that we got this 2-2 reversal on the month, and we have all these targets and pivots to take out along the weekly. So if this breaks, what is this? 1606. It's at 1592 right now. I'm very likely going to hop in with, probably a 1750 strike price and looking to take out this target. And another thing to remember, look at volume in your options contracts. If you're using psychological numbers, things that end at 5, things that end in 0, likely there's more volume there. Okay, that's it for FSR. Let's take a look at ARC. So ARC, we have an inside month, an inside week, and an inside day. So lots of alerts to set here. So in this case, I set an alert on the inside month, which this would be a 212 reversal. If it breaks to the upside here, so this is that same alert at 113.76. This would be a 212 continuation. We already have a 212 reversal to the upside shown on the weekly. This week went 2 up. And if we go 2 up again, we'll have a continuation. So, and I did not mean this week went 2 up. The previous week went 2 up. This week was an inside week. And then I'm going to add my alerts here for the daily as well. So for the daily, we will get a 212 reversal if we cross 110.39. So this is kind of an early entry to this here. So I will typically, not trade in the first 30 minutes of the day. I try not to trade within the first hour of the day. And then I'll see, where things shake up, because this might open right here. And that's already gone across this. But, I won't take that trade very likely if it opens above, and wait for this alert to go off here to go 212 continuation on the weekly. And we might as well throw this on there to show when we could get a 2-2 reversal on the monthly, which would be at 120, 140. So that is ARC. Moving on to TD. Okay, let's remember why I put this one on here. So I'm going to actually remove, because I have a couple of drawings, from previous charting. So We had a inside week, and as you can see here, the day traded down. Lots of strong price rejection to lower prices. However, you know, it could break up, it could break down. So if we put an alert here to the upside, that's at around 73.22, and the alert on the downside is at 72.33. Looking at this inside week candle. And where those show on the daily is right here and right here. So obviously it will have gone to down prior to even reaching this if it reaches this alert, and it will have gone to up prior to reaching this if it reaches this alert. But I'm going to base it off of this. If it does continue to go up, that is a decent amount of price movement, 73.22 from 72.83 that it would have to go, and then to the downside, 72.33. So that is TD. Next up, okay, so we have an inside month so far. We had a 212 reversal to the upside on the weekly, and we have an inside candle on the daily. So in this case, I'm going to be looking for this to break this inside candle either to the upside or downside. So there's my alert at 193.58. We're at 192.99 right now to go to the upside, and to go to the downside, 189.89. And in this case, that would be a 2 up at this, what is that? 193.58. Where is that on here? Okay, so 193.58 on here will not make this 2 up. What will make this 2 up? A 2 would be 204.51. So in this case, I will likely use the weekly to make a call on this, though I am a day trader, so potentially I'll use just this alert, but I do like to see a little bit more confirmation. So we'll see. If it goes 212 reversal to the upside on the monthly, we have to cross 204.18. This alert I'll pay attention to. But as you can see, I have multiple alerts here. So that 204.54 to go 212 bullish reversal to the upside on the monthly is that alert way up here. So I have alerts on the daily, alerts on the weekly, and alerts on the monthly. So that's also why I said, this isn't necessarily a trade setup for something to happen tomorrow, but for throughout the week. Because if these don't get triggered, tomorrow, I won't look at this, and they may get triggered later in the week. Okay, we're going to talk about 2 more here. You can see my list is very long. These are all the trades that I've charted. But ultimately, as these alerts go off in the morning, I take a look, I look at the candles, and I move them to a list that's more hyper-focused for me to look through to decide if I'm going to take trades off of. So I chart a lot of things, but ultimately that gets narrower and narrower throughout the week. So this is ATVI. We have a inside month right now. If we break 97.61, we're at 96.84 right now. We go 2 up, 312. And in this case, that wouldn't be a reversal. The 3 is actually already up. But, that would be a 2 upside. We do have the potential to go 2-2. We had a 2-2 reversal here to the downside, but you can see there was strong price rejection in this long wick. You remember that's a hammer. So you can think of this as building price up. So this signals, there's rejection to the downside. It didn't close green though, so it did close down. But if this breaks this candle, that will be a 2 up, so a 2-2 reversal. And that alert is at 97.62, so that's the same one here. And you can also see there's a lot of targets to the upside. I only set an alert to the upside. I didn't set an alert to the downside for this, though there is the potential, for that. But that's not how I'm going to trade this one. I'm mainly looking to see if this will go to the upside. The other thing to remember before hopping in any trade, look at your time frames. I like to have 4 time frames that are showing continuity. So I enter on the 5-minute, I look at the 15-minute, I look at the hour, and I look at the day. And if all of those are the same color, trading in the same direction, I have full time frame continuity, meaning the week and the month can, be in contradiction to what I'm looking at. And I'll still take the trade because I have those 4 time frames. And last but not least, for what I'll talk about in today's video is FTCH. So right now we have previous month a hammer, and we did go 2 up on the month already, and I'm looking, for more upside in this trade. So in this case, I put alerts on the 2 up week to go 2 up again for a 2-2 continuation. So we had a 2-1-2 reversal, and then this week went 2 up. So another, 2 up will be a continuation. And I did also put on the downside here in case it, goes in that direction, because you can see here we do have some targets as well to the downside on the daily. So that's going to be it. Feel free to comment below with any questions that you have. I will definitely get in there and answer those for you all. And as always, if you enjoyed, the video today, please like, subscribe. It really helps me, and I am going to continue making these. So thank you so much. Have a good trading week.